Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel. I decided I was going to make a greenhouse out of some scrap pieces of wood that I had from a different project. Okay, I decided that I was going to go with a slope roof, one that was 6 feet by 7 feet slope. The angle was 27 degrees. I decided to mark all of these out on all four of my studs. Once I was done with the marking of all the studs, I decided to cut them all out using my circular saw in my speed square. It actually worked good to hold it at an angle and mark it off. Miter saw would have been way better. My circular saw started dying on me, so that's why I sped up a little bit through this part right here. The greenhouse front is going to measure out to 6 feet. The back is going to measure out to 7 feet. But all the way around, it's going to be 39 inches. So here I am putting the 39-inch board at the bottom, which I pilot hole then drilled down after making sure that it was square and plumb. I repeated to do this on all four corners. At the top, you got to make sure that the distance of the two studs are the same at the bottom as at the top. Then you could just proceed to drill in two screws on each stud. Then you could take the clamps out. Then proceed to add your second screw on each side. Now on to the other side, which is a mirroring flip of the other side we just finished. Now I'm about to clamp it up and do exactly the same thing that I did to the other side, which was square it up and drill in a couple of screws on each side. But the difference here is I'm just going to give you a closer look at how I squared it up and made sure that it was square, and a couple ways that I drilled it in. The only reason I did one by one is because I didn't think it was enough room for me to be able to maneuver around that clamp. After that, I proceeded to stand both of them up and clamp them together to the supporting board, and then drill two screws into it. Did this on all four sides. Please make sure that you are using your square and making sure that every piece is square. Right here, I'm making sure that everything is flush. Squaring it off and making sure that it's square as possible. Then after that, I'm going to proceed to adding a couple more screws to the bottom plate. I would have did screws in the corner, but obviously the corner wasn't really holding nothing. It was really the studs. After finishing up putting the boards on front and back, I decided to go ahead and start on the doors. The doors measured out to 39 inches by 69 inches. That way they could sit flush within the frame of the doorway. Right here, I am squaring it off to make sure that it is square before I start my first screw. The reason why there is a gap right there, and the reason I was measuring off in the beginning of this doorway build, was because I wanted to sit flush in the frame in between both studs. So that little supporting board right there, that is going to be on the inside of the frame. So then I decided to square it off a little bit more before I started my second screw. My second screw went in, then I proceeded to do the second corner. And once I got those two done, then I proceeded to the other side and did that. And then I put a third board in the middle, which you'll see at the end. Okay, here we go. There's the frame and everything. That's the door built. Then I put in some more support brackets on the side for the plastic. Me applying the plastic gonna be on part 2. So if you want to watch that, tune into my next video. Thanks for watching Frank Working Hands.